Let me double check. It's all going fine and dandy. I'm just double checking. Right, so we've already had our first question. Hopefully I can see it. I'm waiting for it to go live properly. Right, one last check.
Yep,
okay, it looks like we're live. I'm just double checking the sound. Skip that ad. So let's see if the sound is okay.
Even you're fine this end, dude.
Yeah, okay. I always get this because I always mute a different chat. So if everyone can hear me off in the chat ready, if they can hear, I'm using, which one is that browser? Low. Boom. Yep, that's absolutely fine. I can hear we're saying hello and welcome everyone to a new series called Let's Catch Up With. And today we have our first guest, who is first live stream as well. This is David World Toys. Good evening, David World Toys. How are you doing today?
I'm okay, Mark. Thank you very much.
No problem, no problem. Do you want me to refer to you as David or David World Toys for this entire thing? I don't mind, by the way.
Either, if you say David, but the name's on the screen anyway, so either will be fine, Mark.
That's fine. Cool. Okay, so, right. So if no one knows what this is, basically we're going to be talking about random things throughout the series. But for today, we're talking to Dave about his about his collection, why he collects, etc., etc. And any questions in the chat is there. If you want to hit the super chat, you can do. But generally, I will read out every single comment and question and stuff. But it is always there. So let's begin. So first of all, the main question is what Dark Lincoln has also said is, you've been collecting. What do you collect?
I virtually collect everything and anything. From basically computer games, items, to cartoon series, comic books, to anything to do with Tokyo Satsu related from all around the world.
Yep.
As Mark knows and a few other people know, Power Rangers.
As well as Super Sentai.
Turtle action figures.
Yep.
Just got into knockoff toys and different things like that.
Yep.
Another like bootlegs items from different Sentai.
Okay, yeah, so that's Die Ranger.
Yeah, which is in black, which is not appeared in the show.
Yeah.
Different types of Lego, from Mega Blocks all the way up to them type, and there's the Lego for gold toys. If you want, promotional items where you go to the food place, you got the KFCs, Mail-Aways. Okay. You've got promotion stuff in other things like Kinder, Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispies are in making toys. Nice.
Rice Krispies do toys,
Yeah.
You also got movie action figures. Stuff you actually get when you go to magazines.
Okay, yeah. So like the toys and freebies that we all love.
Yeah. Big giant robots. Japanese exclusive items.
Oh, that's meant to be Cosmo from Ninja Steel.
You've also got live action on TV, like the wrestlers. I'm not going to hate showing this off, but
coat hangers.
Coat hangers with like Master Universe back from the 80s. Convention exclusives from Japan.
Yep.
And around the world. European exclusives.
So that's Shredder.
It's the Shredder that live action and that sort of stuff. You've also got old Lego magazines from the 1979.
Oh yeah, that's actually kind of cool.
And then basically anything to do with toys, action figure die, modern collector's mark from back in the day, the 90s magazine where you used to photograph with the memorabilia shows. Action figure digest, which is one of the toy magazines. The other toy magazine is Action Figure Toys and Reviews.
Oh, okay.
You've also got occasionally like do, teddy bears from different shows.
Okay, so mainly like plushies and stuff like that. So
I'll just virtually cover a bit of everything around the world.
Yeah.
I haven't got a favourite. I haven't got this. I'll go back to, let's see, basically anything from Lego from 1979 all the way up to literally 2021, which is the brand new Batman.
So you basically you collect all sorts, not just like particular stuff like Takusatsu or robots or samurai pizza cats. It's pretty much you've got a lot of different things that you collect on a wide range and stuff like that.
Anything from the 70s up to current date stuff that's European exclusives. I know our friend Dark Lycan in the chat, which I'll bring up a bit, like cheap, Leonard, Alien, big monster toys.
That's pretty cool.
I'm hoping we get the rest of the series. I've seen the rest of the series, and hopefully we just get them out over here.
Do you think that we will get them over here and stuff like that?
I do know there's a bit of delay when it came out. It's basically the other bug systems, like Starship Troopers. There's a load more bugs through the system. I've seen pictures. They might be in Europe. Later in the chat, if you want to ask me about the world, I've travelled most of the world now, looking for toys.
I've seen your photos and what you've told me and shown me, and let's just say Japan and those massive amounts of boxes that I guarantee at some point like they would just keep coming no matter how many that you've had. So going into the chat at the moment, hello Daniel and hello Lewis, welcome to the stream. We've got Aaron saying hello Dave. Daniel then says Super Shredder, obviously you showed that before. Dark Lycan says what's your rarest action figure? And then basically what is your because I know you have a you define rarity very different than say different people. So what would you say would be the rarest item in your collection so far or that you've had?
It all depends what toy line or what series you're on about. Where like a lot of the big collectors say Holy Grail toys. For example, if you went to the series called Jiu-Jitsu, that's the ultra rare Yeti monster.
Yeah.
Which in their books is ultra rare. If you went to say Gormiti, you've got, the gold toys and that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
If you went to say the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, you could either say from the brand new series like Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is that one, which even Playmate said they're going to be rare.
Yeah.
The other way I describe rare, for example, like I showed you earlier, this little guy, he was only available in Japan.
Yeah.
When you can't get him in Europe and the UK or imported only. If it only gets released in that country, that's what I call rare.
Yeah. Okay. Because
So
I know
to find everything in the collection, I really don't know. Because I could say, Mark, the rarest Power Ranger toy, I could say, could be, that little guy.
Yeah.
To turtle collectors, I've got Italy exclusives, which are only available in Italy, which I'll show up in a bit if you want me to.
Yeah, that's no problem. So I know. I was going to say, so basically, some people in the chat saying these monster toys look awesome. Daniel goes, Dino Riders, and Sabi says, isn't toy collecting or reviewing hard, running out of space for making them mint condition?
I've run out of space a long time ago. I've been collecting for 40 odd years, and perfectly honest, Marcus, it's got me through some really bad times in my life. Right now, the toys mean probably more to me than anything in the world.
Yeah.
It's hard to pinpoint certain things and that sort of stuff. It's impossible.
Well, going back to like space and stuff like that, like I know that when we talk over the phone, you go, Mark, I've run out of space. And I'm like, you're going to find some space. And then you do find it like randomly, like a Time Lord in his TARDIS, where you instantly just go, well, I've now cleared this entire section. And now I've got enough space for a mountain's worth of toys.
But to be perfectly honest, recently I build my own shelves. I don't do IKEA, don't do glass cabinets, don't do anything like the stuff behind me.
Yeah.
Nowadays, how I display my stuff, I go from 6-inch shelves to 12-inch. It makes it more wider. So basically, you put, your taller figures at the back, then your smaller figures, your 4-inch. Then you get, little things on the front, and it looks like a ladder effect without buying, shelves and anything like that.
Yeah, so it's a lot easier, and you can control how much space and stuff like that kind of goes into it. So, so you say you've been collecting for 40 years. Has there been any point where you've found like an item that you really, really want, but then like say you turn your head and then you turn back and then someone else has picked it up and gone, haha, and you've gone, God damn it.
There's been a few times on like eBay, that sort of stuff, where, your internet crashes and basically you cannot find, your item's gone.
Yeah.
You feel a bit gutted. Most of the items I look for, I don't go specifically into the high detailed items or anything like that at all. I try to stick to bog standard run-of-the-mill stuff. Sometimes, yes, I've been to Carboots when you're asking yourself how much is that on the floor, you're interested, and someone else on the same thing, because I'll take it without saying, do you want it, or it's courtesy.
Yeah. That's cool. So with talking about variants before, has there been any point where you've thought, so let's say you're Donatello collection, because he's the first turtle that comes up to mind, like a certain one from Rise of the Ninja Turtles, and you've gone, oh, I've got everyone, and then all of a sudden one pops up that you see. Do you instantly just go, or do you instantly have to kind of get it?
My biggest problem I find with the collector universe right now in the world, and I've picked it up with you a few times, if you say Americans show off all their stuff, if it comes out, it'll show off. The UK market is getting better, but not showing everything off. I've only recently, in the last year, shown some of my toys off to the universe. Europeans, when it comes to Europeans, you can fly to France, you can see a European toy that we never thought we got.
Yeah.
Like, for example, when you go to Japan, you walk into a shop and there's just toys you're looking at that doesn't exist, but they exist. They're looking in your hand. For example, the other day, I came across a toy somewhere that, I've never seen before. Not on American sites or anywhere. That's, it's crazy. It's unbelievable. If anyone's into the new Turtle stuff, you try and find the NanoClicks Michelangelo. It appeared on eBay the other day.
Oh, okay.
Is he a prototype? Is he European? Because on the American site, do your research, you only can find literally Raphael and Donatello in this type of form.
So it's more kind of a rarer one that they've possibly made the entire team.
Yeah. Well, I know in 19, the Playmates themselves showed the 4 off. They said the first 2 are coming out, which is Raphael and Leo. That's all I could find. Even the American sites only show Raphael and Leo off. There's no SKUs, there's no barcodes, there's nothing. And when you come across that, it's like crazy.
Yeah. So now there's possibly going to be another one that's out there to complete the collection.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's just finding it. Cool. Okay. So we have some questions in the chat. So Lewis goes, does Hasbro have the US license to Mask Rider, Beetleborgs, VR Troopers, and Mystic Knights? I would love to see Hasbro do anything with them. So do you think that with the license now that Hasbro owns for basically all of Saban's main products, do you think that we would see more toys of them come out? Or do you think that it's past the time that we won't see VR, Mystic Knights, Beetleborgs, or Mask Rider?
I think the only time you might see them where, for example, other toy lines, when they get to so many years old, you might see them on their anniversary releases.
Yeah.
Perfect. The only time I've only seen VR Troopers do signings is at like Paramorphicon in, Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd like to see them come back because, anything live action, I'm all up for it.
Oh, cool. So going back to some chat. Hello, Orville. Sorry, I forgot to say that before.
Hello, chat as well.
All right. So Aaron asks, what's your favorite place to pick up toys or pick up your figures?
Perfect. It's like the Carboots or the charity shop or the toy fair where you don't know what's going to be there. Even though I've explained to you in the past, when it came to the 80s and 90s, all you had to go by is technically your action figure books.
Yeah.
For American books releases, and you hope to pray some of the toys actually came out. This year is going to be different to anything else because at the moment, no one knows roughly what's coming out from any company at all.
Yeah.
It's now down to the fandoms, pages, and like Hasbro's, and that's to show people what's literally coming out.
Yeah.
And basically, you can see like your fandoms yourself, your groups you're in to show the new toys off.
Do you think so? With like them showing stuff off, do you think like such like shows like say New York Toy Fair, San Diego Comic-Con and stuff like that, do you think that that's the best time for, like kind of the updated magazine type thing where it's like, this is what we've got coming out for the next 5 quarters or 4 quarters, you'll see this coming out, we're ready to roll this out, and then obviously San Diego has all the exclusives. Do you think that maybe these are the newer ways of showing I can't even get the question out, like showing like what's coming next?
I don't mind companies showing what's coming next. The only thing sometimes I don't like about companies, like if you go to toy fairs, sometimes they show stuff off in the glass cabinet at toy fairs, but they might not ever hit the retail shops ever.
Yeah.
You know, Playmates have done it loads of times with turtle figures. Bandai have done it quite a million times at the toy fair, showing an item off and never released the Power Ranger toy.
Yeah.
You know, Jax did it with the 2-foot Megazord. You know, they said, would people buy it? And eventually the toy fairs just showed off. You know, but then you get into the realm of prototypes, the big end stuff. You know, you could spend millions on this stuff.
Yeah, I know, with prototypes. Like, I know they brought, within the Power Ranger universe, I know they brought some prototypes out a while ago that we never saw. Like, didn't they make Rita? Like the old
versus movie versus the 2-pack.
Yeah.
You know,
oh no, I was thinking of the, like, do you know Rita that's on the back of the 93 boxes, and then there's only like one ever in the world, which is in like was in the Bandai office and stuff like that. So that sort of prototype. Do you think that they go for a lot more, or they are like the most prized items to have?
It all depends where he's like. Back to the thing, it's the holy grails of like collecting. You know, your collection can go from anything from small bits all the way up to thousands. When it comes to it, if, for example, Turtles again, you know, you got the hero cards for like, you know, plus an ideal which had the license for the Europeans, but not that. For the Star Wars collectors, they've got Lily Lady from Japan, Palatoy UK, Mexican. It all depends how far you want to go in your collection and what you want to collect.
Yeah.
You know, you could, you know, there's, and then it's like I showed you earlier, when he gets to stuff, there's 2 different variants. There's the first release. He's got pink hair, pink beard. And then basically they realised we made a mistake, and then they released it in purple.
Oh, okay. So it's more kind of like reissuing the paint stuff, and what we've seen like on Super 7, as well as like reissue packs and stuff.
Yeah. You know, sometimes when you've got everything in the collection, you go to, you know, back to coat hangers from back in the day. I know there's 3 or 4, and I've got 3 of them or something.
Yeah.
You know, from the, you know, the old game console, you got the old Heroes game.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's actually pretty cool.
You know, it's got a poster, it's got the old arcade machine back in the thing. It's got a leaflet, I think it's cassette, you know.
Oh, yeah.
You got like the poster, and basically you play it's on a cassette.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's awesome. It's so weird now thinking about like video games and stuff that were on like cassettes and stuff like that. It's, you know, it's such a like kind of a weird thing to kind of think all the information kind of was stored on it back then. So seeing that, it brings back like some memories straight away.
You know, same with all the toys and that sort of stuff. You know, if you like into Star Wars, you know, you go to Meerkats and they've done Star Wars Meerkat.
Gimmicks. That's what it's all about. Is lovely gimmicks.
You know, when I was in like America recently, last time I was in America, I wish these figures would come over here, but they never did. You know, for Star Wars figures and that sort of, for their anniversary, they did gold figures.
Oh wow.
You know, with on the back of the card, it's, you know, the full hologram series. But I know they did, when I was there, they did the 3 movies. Hopefully they did the rest. You know, Hasbro, Disney, but I found it in Walmart. I think it was Target.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Crazy.
Something very different. I didn't even know that they made that.
You know, it's something like that. does it? You know, we thought we'd get it. I thought we'd get it over here. That's when he only picked up the one.
Yeah.
You know, I know they did. I think they could do the whole 9 movies.
Mm.
You know.
So with Aaron asked the question before of like, you know, where's your favorite place? So the question I want to kind of ask is, so you've been to like Carboots, flea markets and stuff. Do you find that, say, let's kind of categorize them all into one. So let's say you go to a car boot here in the UK and then you go to a car boot in Japan. Do you find that there is a difference between both of them, or it's very similar? Here's the product you can buy. Or do you find it that it's completely different? And that just like kind of worldwide, all the ones that you've been to.
It's different everywhere you go. You never see the same thing anywhere.
Mm.
You know, when I've been to the car boot in Japan called the Dorky Flea Market.
Yeah.
And there's about 1,500 stores there, and it's unbelievable.
Mm.
You know, you point to it, they tell you a price. You know that the English is easy enough done.
Yeah.
You know, you only get them type of toys there. You see toys that doesn't exist. You know, where you can go to a car boot and pick up like, you know, your figures at 50p or, you know, £1.
Mm.
You know, you go to a collector's fair or toy fair, and the same thing. You know, it's £3-4.
Yeah.
You know, you go to a specialist shop. Yes, they got the rent and everything else. It could be £10 for the same product.
Mm. I get that.
You know, we give different car boots. You know, for example, like the turtle figures. You know, you go, for example, like her.
Mm.
You know, you go to America where there's 50 states. How many people?
Mm.
You know, you go walk past the store. How much is she? You know, 30p. You go to the UK where she's now quite rare and a lot of people don't like her. You know, it could be 15, 20, 30 quid for a figure.
Yeah, so it's definitely a massive either markup or markdown depending on where you are mainly. That's pretty cool. Okay, so Dark asks, what's your favorite toy line? Now I probably know this already, but what is your favorite toy line so far?
Right now, if you asked me, he's probably going to be Turtles.
I was going to say Turtles. If you'd said something like Samurai Pizza Cats, I'd have been like, it's a goddamn line. You goddamn know it. So
well,
what is it?
I have got 3 Samurai Pizza Cats, 2 loose and a box one from back in the day.
But I know, for example, like he wouldn't say like, oh, I really love Samurai Pizza Cats, when clearly like all the stuff that you buy at the moment is turtle based and stuff like that. So what is it about Turtles that you love the most out of like most of the lines?
I think where you need so much out of it, there's so much out in the world, you cannot virtually have the whole lot, because Turtles is like Star Wars. It's one of the biggest collections out there, like Lego, Turtle. You cannot literally, it'd be very hard to own the whole lot.
Yeah.
Especially now it's like 36 years old. And then when you've got the lot, like collectors are now doing, you either go to bootlegs, European exclusives, foreign exclusives, and a few bits like that. When I went to Italy in 2019, this is complete like Lego, but it's a European exclusive.
Oh wow!
You know, turtle set.
Yeah,
it's only released in Italy.
That's pretty cool.
You know, I've
I
got
just love the name at the top. Yeah, it's like rather than it says Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or Hero Turtles, it's just plaster a long name. Let's give it a long name. Goddamn Italian.
And that's Italian exclusive. I know they did 3 sets. You know, it's very hard to, you know, when you've got then all the UK stuff, you then go to the European markets. For example, I only thought Playmate did the turtle stuff.
Yeah.
And made them. when I got my, Red Donatello throw, it's actually done by
Oh, is it? Yeah. So with that sort of stuff, like say, for example, it was like Hasbro's on the box, but then you've got Spin Master there. Is it instantly that you have to buy it because technically it's a variant because the company name is slightly different?
Basically, when I ordered it, it was just like Playmates Turtles, and that's it. The only guys that put it up on eBay at the time was Canadian.
Mm.
That when you get that in, it's like it opens up another realm of, Turtles in the back in the day. Ideal, for example, I showed you earlier. Ideal was Turtles in Europe.
Yeah.
With the license. UK, Bandai released Turtles back in the 80s.
Mm.
And basically, yes, we got Hero Turtles because we couldn't call them Ninja.
Yeah.
There's 4 different variants you can get if you just catch that. You just constantly just play that one line, you can have millions of lines. And then when you get European exclusives, it's like that's complete European exclusive. We got the normal Shredder. The Americans got the black version with the purple shoulder pads.
Yeah.
And the Europeans got all purple.
Okay, so it's a massive different kind of
some
variant.
people in the collector fandom, this is sometimes harder than, as you know, Scratch the Cat and a few other big toys. When they're European, you want to try and go to that country and find it there. It's a bit cheaper.
Yeah, I kind of guess it would be a lot cheaper for some of the items, but again, that could be like people don't know what the price is, but then it's there, so it's like you could pick say Super Shredder up for 10p, and then a shop, as you said, down the road could be selling it for £15 or a lot more. Do you find that with a lot of people now is that they don't do their research like Carboots, where they just go, Super Shredder, he's £1, fully boxed, mint condition, £1, and then shops turn around and go, oh well, this is the same thing but £200 for the item?
People do that at Carboots now because basically when you spend £10-12 on a figure, the kids only say, oh, it's only worth £1. You don't mind. People are doing more research now before they go to Carboots. Charity shops. There's a couple of charity shops around by us where, you can show they're doing the research now on eBay.
Yeah.
You can't literally now go and find an ultimate bargain unless, you go to like America, just in off chance. In America, there's the big flea markets, big stores of 300, 400 stalls. If someone bought a basket of figures into the person, he puts them into the basket, $3 each.
Yeah.
It's potluck.
So it's just random luck. Okay.
It's random luck.
Yeah. So we've got another question from Aaron. It says, what are your feelings on the way the pandemic?
138.
I've just got on screen Aaron Dimrock at the moment. I hope I said his name right. Okay, so hope I said it, Aaron. I'm so sorry if I didn't. Okay, he says, what are your feelings on the way the pandemic has affected the vintage figure prices? Lines like Hasbro Wrestling and Thundercats, Star Wars, Toxic Crusaders, etc. And do you think the prices will fall?
100% yes. Because at the moment, people can't technically leave the house, get to toy fairs. When you see something on eBay, the price rockets.
Yeah.
For example, I know a good friend of ours, but I picked mine up. He gave us some good advice on one of his channels, the rare Scare Glow from the universe. You looked on the place on eBay, it was going for 50, 60 quid. You go to a shop, it's 10, 15 quid.
Yeah.
It's it's just waiting because no one can get out and literally get to the stalls. The prices are going through the roof.
Yeah.
Your telling point is basically when the toy fairs start, not the car boots, literally the toy fairs themselves, either the small ones or the big ones, that's when it'll tell if the prices will stick or come down.
Yeah. Okay.
So the moment where no one can literally get out, it's basically just, wait. If you're happy paying that price, pay it. No one can force you to buy anything.
Yeah.
It's very hard to put a thing on, isn't it?
It is. I think, as you say, prices will kind of fall over time. It is just literally the hardest thing. We can't get out. I know if I probably searched eBay for Captain Planet right now, that one figure would be they normally sell for £1, goes for 30, 40 quid because they know that it will sell. That's kind of cool. So another question is, Lewis asks, have you tried NECA TMT, David, and how do you feel about it?
My rule now when it comes to collecting turtle figures, when I'm, like I said earlier, limited to space, I just try and stick to Playmates. I did get the NECA turtle figures, the first 4 movie figures.
Yeah.
But now where I've missed a certain one, like a Loot Crate Blue Shredder, Splinter, who is a Loot Crate backer from 150 to £200 on eBay. Is it worth catching up? And also, the UK inflation prices are Raj and Tucker. I don't think technically comes out in the UK. You need to go to specialty shops, which then put the £80-90 price on.
Do you?
For me, I just want to stick to technically Playmates. A few other stuff like little, the game and the jigs, not start technically. Hopefully, a new company.
Yeah. Do you find though, say for example, you start collecting NECA, and then all of a sudden, you missed the blue Splinter, because he obviously is a Loot Crate. Do you think that if you miss out on that, it kind of spoils the rest of it? So you look for Splinter, and he's way too expensive, he's £400-500. Do you find that when you see this sort of thing, you just go, I can't bother with it anymore, I'm just going to put it in the bin, or do you go, I'll bite the bullet and I'll buy that particular one?
Sometimes it's hard to say. Me and this other friend of ours, we always say, if we're going to go into toy line, you go all in or all out. Another friend, says only collect what you want to collect.
Yeah.
It all depends what your budget is, what you're happy with, and eventually what you want to do with them. It's crazy how much, toys in the world can, there's so many out there exclusive when you get to variants, different figures, different formats. It's hard keeping up with X, Y, Z.
I think it can be if there's a particular toy, for me personally, when I collect stuff like the Lightning collection, I know that if I can't get a figure, it drives me insane for a while. Or if it's not in the series, so say the only thing in the Lightning collection that I'm missing right now is Green Psycho, but because he wasn't part of the TV line or something like that, it doesn't affect me. But if he was, I'd be like, oh, I need to buy that straight away. So I kind of see what you mean. It's annoying, but again, if you're going all in, go for it, go balls deep. If not, just be like, it's fine, I'll pass on that one.
I think the other thing where the pandemic has stopped us traveling, you want to go to literally a shop and pick it up yourself. That's for the toy collectors, most of us, you want to see it in the shop and pick it up yourself instead of, let's say, the brand new wrestling figures. You click, collect, get it delivered there and then.
Yeah. do you find that that particular thing is, because obviously with the way you can buy on eBay, toy shops, around the world, do you find that it takes the magic out of actually picking it up, having it, and then going and buying it, and either handing over cash or tapping your card for it?
Yeah. It's a part of the fun, a part of the hunt, and part of the experience where, when you talk about conventions, you could pick up a toy collector himself. It's like you can say, walk around your toy room or whatever and show that toy where it's from. Instead of saying, where'd you get that from? I was like, oh, eBay last night.
Yeah. What about, like, let's say convention exclusive? So let's talk about like Power Morphicon. So obviously Hasbro Pulse is now in the UK, but officially it is in America, where and they've done this before. So I'll show a toy that I have that I was showing off. So Draken, he was a Power Morphicon exclusive, and he, we were told that it was only going to be Power Morphicon. You could never get them anywhere. And then I got angry because Entertainment Earth decided to sell a buttload of them because fucking Bandai. Do you find that if you can't get an exclusive, say you weren't able to get to Morphicon to get that, say that Draken, do you find it acceptable to order him online? Because I know with Hasbro Pulse, they're going to be putting the exclusive. So Morphicon rolls up, can't get whatever figure it is, you can buy it on Hasbro Pulse at 9 p.m. blah blah blah. Do you sometimes find that acceptable if it's a con exclusive, or would you rather say go to that convention because it's going to be there? Or, would you settle for online, or would you want to go to that convention?
When it comes to something like that, you really want. Perfectly honest, I think all of us in the toy world like to go to the big 2 American conventions. You've got San Diego Comic-Con in New York.
Yeah.
From San Diego, it's at least £1,000 or $2,000 for 6 days there. So you bought your tickets, you get in your hotels. When they know it's on, the price of the hotels go up.
Yeah.
It's almost like a lottery system to get your ticket or your toy. When it costs you that much, you don't mind then sitting on your computer, ordering it.
Yeah.
Something like that, yes. If it is a complete exclusive to the show, you don't mind picking a one or two, one to open, one to leave card.
Yeah.
Talking about exclusives like PowerCon, we had the Super Mega Force car.
Yeah, the Mac Falcon.
They said it was a PowerCon exclusive only. But the guys that are selling it went to every single UK show anywhere. I would have probably took the sleeve off and said the sleeve itself is exclusive.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
When I went to, Disney that year that Power Rangers was there, you could say you've got the Disney Races exclusive.
Oh,
which is only sold in the theme parks itself.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
The rest of the line came out, like the play set that came out and a few cars that came out, but to get exclusive like that, it was only sold in theme parks.
Oh wow.
It's, you just need to do your bit of research before you do it.
Yeah, no, I understand. So some more chat is Aaron asks, what do you think of 3D printed figures? And I don't know what he means at the end, so I'm just going to say, what do you think about 3D printed figures?
When the toy company doesn't release the toys, but Bandai don't release that many aliens and bad guys. With now technology, you can actually 3D print any bad guy you want from any season and put it up in any size, format, whatever. That I don't mind at all.
Yeah.
If he's talking about 3D printed items to go on your Megazords or 3D weapons, you know, a lot of us, if the people tell you if it's 3D printed, you don't mind.
Mm.
If they're trying to, you know, back in the day, I know a wrestling guy because of the old Hasbro, you know, stuff, the helmets, the flags, the belts, wasn't very hard to get hold of, the accessories.
Mm.
The guy technically got his own molded and did loads of them, you know, and I think he was classing them as real things, but they're not.
Yeah, so it's more again like bootlegs, and
People like out there, like, you know, there's a guy called Stu Hicks. He's got a channel. He's at the moment he's doing 3D Power Ranger parts.
Mm.
You know, good up for him to doing it. You know, people, yes, they are very hard parts, very, you know, very hard to get hold of.
Mm.
You know, if you buy it and try and sell it up as a real thing, it's technically not right in the fandom and collectors.
Yeah.
You know, but
No,
the 3D world at the moment, you could, you know, we could have a 3D Mark Airlim figure next week.
It's my own action figure. So I want my own action figure, but wouldn't be official. I get you. I get what you mean. So Lewis asks, I mean, obviously we've seen some of your Power Ranger display. So Lewis goes, do you have anything from Power Rangers?
Mighty Morphin itself.
I'm guessing like you've had stuff like you've got, say, because I know you're not collecting the Hasbro series. So you've got probably everything up to, say, Ninja Steel. Oh, you actually own. Oh, that's slowly going into the Hasbro line. When did you decide to start changing that?
You know, the biggest problem as a toy collector or anything, you know, I picked this up from Lidl a couple of days ago. Well, you know, our mum did for me, and it only cost like £2 on clearance.
Okay, so it's cheaper.
You know, if you spot something at the right price, even in toy collecting, the toy world, you will actually pick it up itself. You know,
so
no matter what, you will actually pick the item up.
Yeah. So has that now kind of sparked something where you need the rest of the team, or that you're now going to start collecting like Hasbro's Power Rangers? Because I know before that one, the only thing I know that you had was Roxy and I think one other item. But would you now start?
Hasbro I think I got is the Roxy and the two blue Ranger figure.
Yeah.
The Blue Rangers, I went to Smith's and they were £3 brand new carded.
Mm.
You know, back for the Power Rangers, my first technically ever Power Ranger toy I ever owned was the Dragon Sword.
The 93 one.
93. You know, I've got all the way up to, you know, it's like a car boot.
Yeah.
Back in the car boot. If you walk around a car boot and spot Beast Morphers, I've got the Japanese range of Beast Morphers. So that's why I didn't pick the Hasbro stuff up.
Mm.
You know, when it comes down to coming down to your age, you're collecting, how much space you got and how much money you were investing.
Mm.
You know, I wouldn't like to guess how much Mark spent on his Lightning collection so far.
Probably
more than you like to realise.
Probably over £1,000.
Yeah.
Yeah. It depends. Like if you're looking at, say, for a wave figure, so certain wave is 4 in a wave, like say you're looking at like say £80, and then there's been quite a few waves. So I think I've spent probably close to maybe a grand probably on that.
Probably more than that when you realise how much you spent.
Oh yeah, I'm not including the like limited editions or the 2 packs and stuff, but yeah, I'm guessing I've spent quite a lot on it so far. So I'm invested all the way to get it absolutely done.
Yeah, when it comes to it, when you got other toys out there what you don't know, like, so for example, the Korean version of Mini Force.
Yeah.
You know, something like that, you know, that transforms into a T-Rex and that sort of stuff, that, you know, I'd rather start getting something like that in instead of something completely, starting a brand new company like Hasbro.
Yeah.
Perfectly honest, Hasbro are doing the figures better in the day. If you were going to full collector Hasbro, like we've had this conversation thousands of times before, Hasbro never released the Beast X King Megazord last year. The thing Bandai thrived on was the Megazord, Morphers, and the most thing they have never released is the Beast X King Megazord. I don't know if it's down to the pandemic. It puts you off going all into a company where 3 or 4 years ago you could get technically Bandai's Zord and put it in with each other.
Yeah.
If you missed the Zord, Bandai never released all the Megazords, like the Elephant, Wild Force, you could still get the American parts to it. And there's your T-Rex.
No, did you say he was quite a rare one?
Which?
The one the little T-Rex that you've got there.
It's perfectly honest. It's once again, it's on Netflix right now to watch the cartoon series, the toy series, but it's nowhere in the shops at all. When you go to Europe, you find toys on the shops floor that are actually on Netflix right now that don't get released.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There's toys out in the world where they've not come out in the UK, and you always wonder as a collector or a person, why don't they come out?
I'm guessing it's due to license, or the fact is that they can only show certain things. So
that's where occasionally, yes, you'll try and get back to normality, go to holidays, get to your toys and that sort of stuff.
Well, we've got here another question from Aaron. He says, Dave, I've seen you around the bootleg sales with bags full of stuff. How do you manage to house it all, and how many displays do you have? I think we answered this. You have a TARDIS for a house.
Everyone that looks at my house, technically, it's like an Aladdin's cave. You name a room, and technically there's an action figure or a toy in that room.
Yes.
I've just worked out which Aaron this is.
Okay.
Aaron's a big Masters Universe and, Star Wars guy. He does 3D printing stuff himself.
Yeah.
He enters competition. He does some amazing work on 3Ds. He's one of the guys that occasionally ring up and see how he's doing every week to see. You always ask Dave, what you got in new this week? He's quite known in the Star Wars and in the toy world himself.
Okay, yeah.
He's, I wouldn't say the younger generation of us, he's the middle. Yeah.
Because he's just asked, do you still ever pick up batch of figures and be clueless to what toy line it's from?
99% of toys I can work out what they're from or what not they're from.
Yeah.
I've got basically toy magazines where I've got pictures of toy, I've got magazines and that sort of stuff in it. Where it shows you all the figures and toys off in the world. If not, I've watched all the Toy Hunters, the Plastic Crack, Jordan Hebro's Toy Hunter series. If you got Amazon Prime, there's a Canadian series called Geek Me, which shows off 12 collections and 6 sports cars.
Okay.
It's all free on Amazon Prime. It's got the Power Rangers, Turtles, Ghostbusters. The Plastic Cat documentary is amazing. I know most of the people on that. It's at the moment I'm trying to help a guy in Brazil or somewhere in the world. He said, Dave, I've got this toy. Any idea what it is? At the moment, we're working out what it is.
I mean, so kind of going off that, have you ever picked up a toy and gone, I have no idea what this is, and it's taken years to kind of figure out because it was once shown on something, or it's an old, like an old TV show?
When it comes to right at the beginning of the chat, the Europeans don't show off their stuff.
Mm.
There's a company called Leader Shine. I think it's Leader Shine in back, 80s and 90s, do bootleg toys. I don't think I've got nothing to hand, but something like that, you don't know what's what.
Mm.
When you can search for Leader Shine. Sometimes my videos is sometimes the only content that can come up.
Yeah.
There's not much on Google at all.
Mm. Well, kind of going off your channel. So because like a lot of people do reviews or they showcase the toys in video format, your channel is like kind of dedicated to old toys as retro, new, whatever it is, but it's in picture format. Do you think that kind of works better than, say, getting a toy and then, say, reviewing it or showcasing it, putting him in a pose, and then letting people watch it? Do you think that the photo element is a lot better than, say, a video format?
When it comes to showing off people's all I see in people's collections, even if it's one figure to 1,000 figures or 1,000,000 figures, when you're doing like a video format, for example, my YouTube is 1 year old today. Done 165 videos literally today.
That's really impressive.
In a row. I haven't missed a day or nothing. And today, basically, I did a minute video showing a collection off.
Yeah.
You can show that off and people say, what's that figure? What's that? Where the showcase picture shows the individual figure off and the toys off. It might take you a bit longer to get that video done over time, where this mini video, I think it's done 6 or 7, 8, 9 videos of mine. Like the stuff behind me, it's all Marvel, stuff and that sort of stuff. It's all Marvel collection, Marvel toys, the whole lot.
Yeah.
You could say do a video of that, but it's like, what, you could probably get in the comments, what's this figure in that number of minutes? Where the way I slightly do different, where I show the picture, you can see all the figures in the thing. You can timestamp it and say, this figure in 3 seconds, what is it? What's the variance? What's the difference between it?
That's pretty cool, because a lot of people can see like the many different variants and stuff. So we have another question from Aaron. What is the most memorable toy pickup, the creme de la creme of your collection that holds the greatest memories? That's actually a really good question.
It's either probably the turtle figure.
Yeah, Super Shredder.
Super Shredder. If there's turtle fans in the thing, you've got an original boxed and opened.
Oh wow!
Figure boxed, which I know a lot of people are after at the moment. Needle nose. He's never been opened, and it's very hard. When I bought that figure, I checked on eBay, Facebook that day, and American guys are selling it for $500-600.
Yeah, and you got them for, I'm guessing, quite cheap. But so I'm guessing like the most memorable item, because we all have one. To be fair, that's a lie. I don't actually have one just yet. But why is it so memorable to you?
It's basically like Paramorphic on the original one, or any of the power conventions you go to. You can remember that show, that specific toy, that item where you picked it up. It's that your memories in yourself where you can tell the whole people in the world.
Yeah.
Like how much you've got, you know, that sort of stuff. It's crazy. It's, you know, as I said, when you're a collector, you can walk around your room, you know, your one room. It's like, there's that one figure, you know where you got it from. You know, I said to you, you know, first time we ever met 13 years ago, you were wearing white Dino Thunder Ranger.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my first convention in Birmingham.
Yes. You know, the NEC memorabilia, which the memorabilia shows us that, you know, so many memories and that sort of stuff, meeting collectors, meeting fans. You know, even after the show, like seeing the celebrities come up and saying hello, thanks, you know, it's little bits like that that you want to keep and keeps you going through hard times, smaller times, anything in the world.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to your foreign place, like your Italy's, Japan's, you can pick that one toy up, and basically, even if, you know, if you ever had kids or your relatives come round, you know, mainly your relatives come round, you said, you know, oh, where'd you get that? You know, conversation piece. You know, it's keeps you going yourself. How much it goes, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, like first conventions or toys that you pick up that kind of mean something. Like, you know, it's a lot. Like, I really love the Thunder Tank, and I think that from Thundercats was one of my all-time favorite vehicles. And then obviously seeing that there was I think there's a model that was made at San Diego Comic-Con, and now you've got the Super 7 Thunder Tank, which I'm not going to pick up because it's way too much money that I can actually drop on a toy and stuff like that.
You also comes down to if you got the room to display that piece as well. You know, when it comes to like the backing pieces, that sort of stuff, you really want a display piece for it.
Yeah.
Or if you're into Thundercats and only Thundercats, yes, you would pick it up. You know, sometimes you wait, is it 20, 30 years for a figure to come out?
Yeah.
You know, I've got the Skeletor, the Black, movie, Masters Universe movie. You know, they eventually released the He-Man Skeletor from Super 7. I was like, you know, sorted, I'm getting it, you know.
Yeah.
It's the only one I picked up from the series.
Yeah,
you know, it's crazy.
Well, we've got Daniel saying finding Tackle Boy from O Ranger and getting £8. So I'm guessing he's flexing a bit and saying that he found a rare figure. Aaron responds with, a couple of years ago when we were selling Hasbro WWF figures for £1 each, little did we know Series 11 would be collectible as it is today. What are your predictions for future figure collectibles?
Basically, look at when a series is about to die, or the series is about to go, or like Star Wars back in the day.
Yeah.
The end of the run will be the figures that will either fetch the money or back to the AEW, Series 0.
Yeah.
The guys in the series are all skin tones are completely wrong. Completely wrong altogether. It's either the first lot at the beginning of the series or the end of it. And so to find the O Ranger, it's amazing. It's like how many people go out there. For example, you went out to Japan, the little figure that everyone goes crazy about in the fandom, you get him there for about 60 pence.
Yeah, because they've made so many and they just want to get rid of them.
You find him on the Power Rangers sites, the forums and everything else, you can name your price. It's crazy how much, my only advice, if you're collecting Power Rangers stuff or Sentai stuff, save up and go to Japan.
And then you can pick them all up for either really cheap.
So you bought the time you put your imports on, your shipping on. You know, it comes down to collecting. Do you want to pick them up yourself, or do you want to, boink, and send it through the post?
Send it through the post all the way through, like so many boxes that you sent through.
Yep. Well, that one order, the Asian trip was 29 boxes.
I know, 29 boxes. Goddamn.
My last America trip, I bought the Turtles arcade game on the plane. We back home with it.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying.
It all depends how much you want it and how much you're taking a risk. Because sometimes you can turn around to the company and says, at the moment we are not planning to release it at all. The couple of guys said, if you got a chance to pick it up, pick it up.
Yeah.
I got no regrets. Yes, it cost me a lot more than the $350 in the shops. I had it a year before the UK literally got it. Sometimes like in Japan, Sentai Toys 2 years before Japan, year before America, and Europe is 6 months, sometimes a year behind us.
Yeah, I mean, so with coming, we're going to come to a close very soon. So if anyone's got any more kind of questions that they want to get in, obviously they can do so as we're kind of going through them. So do you think that there will be a point where you go, I've had enough? Like I've gotten to my limit of collecting as many toys as I've got, or are you going to continue for like many, 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 many years?
I'll probably keep going until I go. The toys have got me through a lot of stuff in the past. The other day I worked out what got me into collecting. It was our granddad, Harry Hyatt. He used to bring the sticker books, Lego home from work and give it us to the grandchildren. Our mum took me to literally my first toy fair. Back in the day, a couple of years ago, I lost our dad, and technically he took me to all the toy fairs, helped us sell. We remember certain people go to them places. In the future, I don't know what's going to happen to the stuff behind me, what I'm going to do with it, I just don't know. For the moment, it's getting me, through the pandemic, through a lot of stuff. It got me through school, colleges, even at toy fairs. I've been to certain toy fairs and people ignore you as a collector. They don't know, they don't give you the time. Yes, they are selling stuff. Yes, they are doing this, that, and the other. But it comes down to yourself, When I've been to a toy fair once, I got home and I almost said to myself, I want to give up going to toy fair. Even now, I know a couple of people on my Facebook and friends. I talk to them about toys. They'll show me stuff off like prototypes, rarities, and that sort of. Yes, I do have a few prototypes, and I've got a UK prototype Power Ranger releases that we only got in the UK. I've got one of the prototypes for that. Sometimes you don't want to say that. Sometimes on live streams, it's basically you might get certain people in the fan. You mention something, and then next minute they're saying, "Can I please buy that off you, please? Can I, like you've said in the past, eventually just say, listen, if you ask me again, delete, block, goodbye."
Yeah, just cheekily block them. And that's it. So Aaron asks, which figure line do you have the most from? I'm going to guess Turtles.
If you were talking just one series, it's either Power Rangers or Turtles, but technically the overall biggest collection I've got is Tokusatsu.
Okay, so yeah, that's a very, very large, like a broad.
Sentai to Ultraman.
Yeah.
To other series, even to the knockoffs and bootlegs of 5-star Rangers. Same molds, same everything. But technically it'd probably be Tokyo Satsu. Anything Japanese, Godzilla, you name it, it's there.
Okay, that's cool. I think that's probably a very good place to kind of leave it. As no more questions come through. Daniel just says at the very end, Japanese Dragon Zord goes for £70 in Japan and goes between £200 to £500. And says in like season 3 of Power Rangers had Japanese finger released in the UK in 90. I don't know what he means, but I'm guessing obviously some of those figures came out back in the day, in the 90s. Cool.
So pre-Japanese and Tokyo Satsu stuff, which, for Power Rangers, you're going to just stick to Mighty Morphin onwards, or you can go pre-Power Rangers, like Sentai.
Yeah.
Back to 77 toys, which, on my 300 video on the channel, or 250, I've done a toy from every single Sentai series up to 2018 from the 70s.
Yeah.
It always depends where you want to start and finish your own collection. I know some people in fandom now only collect Mighty Morphin.
Yeah.
But to be honest, there's 1,000,001 things in Power Rangers you can collect.
I know there's still, there is quite a lot like kind of out there and stuff like that. But yeah, I think we shall leave it there. So last question I can think of. What would you say to someone if they came up to you and went, I'm thinking about starting collecting, insert name here, whatever it is. What advice would you give someone? What advice would you give someone?
Only collect what you like yourself. If you get into your group of friends, they could talk you into a line where you don't want to collect yourself.
I know that feeling.
3 months down the line, you'll be stuck with them. Only collect what you like.
Yeah.
The only advice, when it comes to start liking at the beginning, ask me to say, about these guys, Smiths and that sort of stuff, have them at the right price.
Yeah.
In 20 years' time, I don't think they'd be collectible or anything, but if you like big bugs, that sort of stuff, they're perfect.
What would you last question, so they've come up to you and said, hey, I want to get into collecting. What about like kind of money situation? Would you say if you see said figure for a large amount, go for it? Or would you how would you tell someone to kind of like say, not be cheap, but also not like throw their life savings away for a rare toy?
If you can afford the item, then go for it. You could start off with the Holy Grail from that series. You could start off with the hardest piece in the world. Or for the same price, you can have, say, for example, $1 Tello is 70 quid. 70, 80 quid. And he's only going up in price because the line's now finished.
Yeah.
You could go, say the action figures, loads of them at the right price.
Okay.
A lot of our friends and collectors are buying collections up just to get that 1 or 2 figures out of it. And then pass the rest on to collectors, friends, and that sort of stuff. My advice is only collect what you want to collect, and only if you can afford it.
I think that's
you'll get in a lot of trouble. And then basically you'll just have too many plasticky items, and what you're going to do with them.
Yeah, I think that's some very good sound advice. So yes, I think we'll leave it there. I want to thank everybody in the chat. Aaron, thank you very much for asking some very interesting questions. Thank you to Thomas Fan UK, Daniel, Orville, who else have we got? Lewis, thank you very much. Dark Lycon 81. Yeah. Who else have we got?
Up Scotland.
Yeah. Cool. So the main question now that we've got, where can people find you if they want to follow you on your traveling adventures?
Well, just click on David World Toys. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram.
Cool. And
that's the easiest way of doing it. You know, when it gets back to normality next year, I'll be doing a big America trip, hopefully. I'll be doing possibly Spain at the end of the year, or Italy. At the moment, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, obviously, because due to the pandemic. Cool.
You know, family problem. You know, with other little family businesses and problems, anything could crop up.
Yeah.
You know, you just don't know from one day to the next. Leave it to you, and you know, convention. You know, collect what you want to collect, basically.
Yeah, I think that's a very good thing. Cool. Well, thank you very much for joining me on the very first Let's Catch Up With. So I'm going to leave that. If anyone wants to subscribe to Dave's channel, I will update the description later on with all the relevant information. But if you want to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button to this channel, then you're more than welcome. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you again very much, David, for joining me.
Thank you. You're welcome.
No problem. And we shall leave it there. Thanks very much, guys. And as always, I'll catch you in the next video or in a bit. All right. Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.